The title of this PowerPoint is Defining Happiness with Aristotle, and pretty much we're going to look into who he was. Okay, so start this PowerPoint off. I'm going to pretty much present Aristotle and his ideas. So who exactly is Aristotle and what did he believe in? Aristotle was a Greek philosopher in the 340 BC. He wrote an entire book on ethics and what he believed was true in regards to happiness. He named his book after his son. It's pretty much like a hands-on book that his son can have throughout life, that he understands some basic principles. Aristotle explains in his work Nicomachean Ethics the basic principles and ideas behind his philosophy in reaching the ultimate good. Throughout this PowerPoint, we will analyze his idea, his approach on what living a good, happy life is, and our ultimate goal as human species. What do you believe living a good life and being happy consists of? Well, many of us argue that living a good life consists of money, because with money, can it buy us all the happiness? No, that's not true. Money can't really buy us all the happiness in the world. How about relationships? Well, if you depend on somebody else to make you happy, then no, that's not correct. And then having good health. Well, if you're healthy, then ultimately you're going to live a good life. What was Aristotle's philosophy in regards to living a good, happy life? To us, his philosophy would not be ideal. Many of us would think that that's too much work. What he's portraying to us isn't even attainable. In his defense, the idea of true happiness was nothing of what I had already listed above. In Aristotle's eyes, those ideas are incorrect, because to gain the highest good in life, you must first learn it by experiences, have the correct character, and reach ultimate good at levels that seem unreachable, which is not until you have died after all your trials. If you sit back and analyze your life, can you really agree with this statement? Do you really think that all the experiences you've had, the character you have in this life, and the way you reach certain things is what makes you happy? In a sense, he's saying we can't reach happiness until we have accomplished it all of what we want. First things first, in order to achieve happiness, to live a good life and be happy, you have to learn it from experiences. What exactly do I mean by that? As humans, we have been given reason to learn and understand why we do certain things. Without reason, we wouldn't be able to decide what's right from wrong. Our brains are formed with chemicals that send a chemical reaction with every action we take. To be happy, it is not something you can just be born into. In order to live a happy life, you can't just think it will be handed to you simply. There are many people who live a good life in the eyes of others, but are very unhappy. Someone's happy life could be someone else's idea of hell. One example, of course, is that celebrities have everything others would consider goods of the good life that should allow them to be happy, right? That's what you would think, but that's just not the case. Can you really be happy and appreciate the good things in life if you never had to go through hardships? What you experience is not the same thing your neighbor will be experiencing. We all, at the end of the day, want to be successful. Some people have to go through really tough times to get to the others, have to go through a couple steps, but all of us have to go through something to appreciate the little things. Experiences are what moves us forward and allow us to build character, which eventually allow us to be happy. Your character also plays a major role in the way your life turns out and the outcomes you face. It is very important that you find an exemplary person, someone you can look up to. Even the Bible tells us in Proverbs 22:24-25, do not be a friend of who has been tempered, and never keep company with a hothead, or you will learn his ways and set a trap for yourself. Those who you associate and mirror yourself with will affect how you ultimately end at the end. When you hang around people whose character is good and the sole purpose of them being there is for good, you begin to move in a different way that would not only lead you to success, but a good life. Life isn't always going to be good to you, but you must treat it as such. You must be virtuous. To be virtuous to Aristotle was to more of an action than the things you did. You have to have a virtuous character to be able to reach the ultimate good. You can face 1,000 obstacles in your life, but you had to pick between virtue and vice. Is to describe this as the golden mean. Now, the golden mean allows us to measure our character. We could be a coward, courageous, or reckless. Everyone's idea of golden mean is different depending on the person and the conscience in which the action which causes certain traits is being performed. For this example, I'm going to use the word virtuous. To be virtuous as a human, you know what to do at the right time, the right way, the right amount, and towards the right people. Having that type of character of always knowing when to do what is right is what leads you to having a good life. Well, you're probably asking yourself, what character traits are those? Well, those are of someone who can think before they take action. Someone who understands that their character and actions have consequences. To avoid them, they must be in the golden mean at all times. You're also probably wondering, well, how in the world do I even do that? It takes 21 days to build a habit and 90 days to build a lifetime. Aristotle describes this idea as one having habituation. If you're consistent and you continue to follow after someone who's already doing good, you too will be doing good. Well, you have to constantly work towards being better. When you put bad traditions into practice, you will never get the outcome you require. Our life depends on all the actions we take. We must first change our nature, which won't be easy. In order to be good, do good, and feel good, you have to build the habit of wanting to be good, do good, and feel good without thinking twice about it. Something everyone and everything on this earth has is the natural law theory. The natural theory is ideally we were meant for something greater. Everyone wants to achieve and obtain something in life. As humans, we were created for something else. One example I can give you is an acorn falling off a tree in hopes of becoming its own oak tree. That's the same thing with humans. We were built to be virtuous. Our life is a never-ending roller coaster that at the end of the ride, we're questioning whether or not what we did was good. When you're a good person, the right actions follow right after you. And one word Aristotle used to describe this right action that follows afterwards is called eudaimonia. Now, eudaimonia can be seen as the ultimate state, the golden mean of our life. If you're someone who lived a life striving, finding success, happiness, new goals, been through disappointments, had failures, satisfactions from accomplishing something, being the best person you can be, well, that, my friend, is when you have reached eudaimonia. It is the condition of human flourishing, of living well. Eudaimonia never really ends. To be able to reach the ultimate good, we must be dead. It goes on and on day by day. We will face different things daily, but we must be able to understand that this too shall pass and smile forward. When you take your life and move forward, no matter the circumstance, and understand all will be okay, you have reached true happiness. How do I know all the time when to know what's right and wrong? How do I know when to choose when to do certain things? Well, that comes from building daily habits in our life. Did you really live a good life, or did you contemplate on the things that was there for you? Happiness is the ultimate end and purpose of our life. In this life, we were made to be virtuous and live a good life, but only if we pursued after it. I have attached the crash course on Aristotle's idea by crashcourseheroes.com, and I would like you guys to look at it and understand really what his theory was. And I hope you guys enjoyed this and have a good day.